Welcome to the Abrams Boxing Show, powered by Last Out Media and brought to you by www.15rounds.com, the worldwide leader in boxing news. Also, Abrams Boxing PR Media and Broadcasting, the industry standard for boxing media relations and play-by-play broadcasting. Also, check out www.abramsboxing.com, Abrams Boxing on YouTube, as well as M. Abrams Boxing on Twitter and Marc Abrams Boxing on Instagram. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Abrams Boxing Show. I'm Marc Abrams. We have a good show lined up for you. Got a lot of results, some previews, and an interview with Marquis Taylor, who will be in the co-feature event on this Saturday night SHOWTIME event from Atlantic City, New Jersey. He takes on Yoelvis Gomez. So it should be we did a terrific interview. When you listen to the interview, he's a very engaging young man. He's an easy guy to root for. So we will get to Marquis in a few minutes. So this past Saturday night in Toledo, Ohio, unbeaten WBO number 7, WBA number 8, WBC number 9 ranked heavyweight Jarrett, the real big baby Anderson, scored a 10-round unanimous decision. Really got tested for the first time in his career as he went the distance with former IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Prince Charles Martin. Martin now 29-4-1. That took place at the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. Anderson boxed very well. I think Martin called him crafty after the fight, where he was able to box well, get a lead, but he took some big shots in the middle of the fight. Anderson scored a knockdown at the end of round 3 with a good right hand. Martin began to fire back with his left hand and landed several solid left hands, even startled Anderson a few times throughout the bout. The fight, like we said, went the full 10 rounds with Anderson winning 98-91 and 99-90 twice. But a good test for Jarrett Anderson as he goes to 15-0 with 14 knockouts. So you will see the progress. And that's one of these fights where Anderson's going to remember as he goes forward, as the competition continues to get better for the Ohio native known as the real big baby. South Africa's Seventhai Nanthinga went to 12-0 with 9 knockouts. He's retained the IBF light flyweight title when he made the first defense, as he scored a unanimous decision over mandatory challenger Reggie Shuganab. That took place Saturday in South Africa, in Cape Town, South Africa. Actually, Sunday in Cape Town, South Africa. Scores are 116-111 twice and 117-110 for the champion. Saturday in Germany, middleweight Vincenzo Gualtieri went to 21-0-1 as he scored a 12-round unanimous decision over Esquiva Falco to win the IBF middleweight championship. Gualtieri dropped Falco in round 2, and he would hurt Falco a couple times. Falco managed to stay on his feet. In round 7, Falco was hit by a low blow, fell to the canvas. But he was given the full 5 minutes. Gualtieri was credited with another knockdown later in the fight. The scores are 117-109 and 116-110 12th for the new champion, Gualtieri. Former WBO middleweight world champion Savannah Marshall became a 2-division world champion as she became the undisputed super middleweight champion with a 10-round majority decision over reigning champion Franchon Cruz DeZern. DeZern now 8-2 with 2 knockouts. Scores were 95-95 overruled, 99-92, 97-92 for Savannah Marshall. Saturday in Sheffield, England, unbeaten super lightweight Dalton Smith scored a sensational 7th-round stoppage over Sam Maxwell, fight that was streamed live on the Zone. Smith now 15-0, 10 knockouts. Maxwell falls to 17-2, 11 knockouts. Dalton Smith, we interviewed about a month and a half ago when we met him up in Las Vegas, a terrific prospect, now turned contender from Sheffield, England. Thursday night in New York, Kurt Scobie went to 12-0 with 10 knockouts as he destroyed 39-year-old former world title challenger Hammer and Hank Lundy. Lundy now 31-14 with 14 knockouts in 2 rounds. That was Sony Hall, Boxing Insider. Been putting on these really nice cards in New York City. I'm going to try to get to the one in August at the Sony Hall. Scobie dropped Lundy in round 2, then put him down again. Time was 154. After the fight, Lundy, for the second time, at least second time this year, announced his retirement. In a rematch, WBC strawweight champion Pena Pradsbury, a.k.a. CK Freshmart, went to 40-1 with 24 knockouts as he scored an 8th-round stoppage over 38-year-old challenger Naruhito Tanaka. Tanaka now 20-0 with 10 knockouts. That took place in Rayong, Thailand. This week, again, we got 2 really nice cards. This week, I'll be Saturday night. I'll be in Atlantic City to watch Jaron Boots Ennis go to 30-0 with 27 knockouts as he takes on upset-minded Romain Villa. Also on the court for the IBF interim welterweight championship, Yoelvis Gomez, 6-0, 5 knockouts, takes on Marquis Taylor, 14-1-2 with 1 knockout. And also Edwin De Los Santos, 15-1, takes on Joseph Adorno, 17-2-2. Earlier this week, I had a chance to talk to Marquis Taylor. Like I said, it's a real terrific interview that we did, and this is how. Now joining me on the line is Marquis Taylor, who will be taking on Yoelvis Gomez this Saturday night live on Showtime from Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. Marquis, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. How about you, Marc?
Good. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day. Fight week is here. We're a few days out. Training camp is winding down. You're about to head off to Atlantic City. Tell us how you feel.
Man, I feel the best that I've ever felt before a fight. I had the best camp that I've ever had, so I'm feeling good.
Why do you think that? I mean, obviously this is your highest profile fight on Showtime. Do you think the extra motivation that goes along with all that made it your best camp?
Exactly. Just the opportunity. I never got an opportunity this big, so I just took everything very, very seriously. I always have good camps, but this one was very special. This one was good.
Yoelvis Gomez, he kind of exploded on the scene a little bit with a few highlight reel type knockouts. Last couple fights, he's been or at least the last fight, he was taking the distance against Jorge Cota. What do you see? Without giving too much away, a brief scouting report on Yoelvis Gomez.
He's a young fighter, aggressive. He has some power, but he also has a ton of flaws that I look to capitalize on and expose. So, overall, he's a good fighter.
14-1-2 with 1 knockout. You haven't lost in about in about almost over 8 years. You only lost to Ladarius Miller, and you have a lot of quality notches on your belt. The fight over Harrington, the Paul Kroll fight. A lot of people thought that maybe you should have your hand raised. Even a draw with Luke Santamaria. You beat Rakhimov, who was 10-0 at the time. Jimmy Williams, 14-0 at the time. So a lot of good results. You're 14-1-2. It's not a built-up 14-1-2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I beat what's the guy? Beat a guy with Golden Boy that was 8-0 right after the Ladarius loss too. Right after that loss, I forgot his name.
So that would have been Oscar Torres back in
Oscar
2016.
Torres, yeah, beat him too. He was undefeated. So, yeah, like you just said, it's another day in the office for me. Not really a step up fight for me, more of a step up for him. And I'm just hoping after I beat this guy, I hope. I'm not used as the step-up guy anymore. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm given a big shot against a big name, against somebody in the top 5. Because, like I said, like you said, I've beaten a lot of prospects, a lot of contenders. I feel like it's time for me to step up myself now. I feel like I've, the boxing world has been using me as the test. But I keep coming out the winner, so
Now, Why do you think that? I mean, they keep being lined up and you keep knocking them off. I mean, what do you feel? Do you feel maybe people overlook you? You have one knockout in 17 fights. You think
Yeah.
that might be the reason why?
Yeah, that might be. They look at my knockout column, they're like, "Oh, he has one knockout." But let me give you a look. I do my research. All right, this guy Yoelvis Gomez, first four fights in Mexico, first two fights against debuts. So his first two fights against debuts, next two fights against guys that was knocked out right before he fought him. Then he fought an MMA fighter in Clay Collard, and then he fought George Cotto, who was just knocked out by Fundora. So that road, it's an easy road. I have 5 knockouts too. But my road was 3 fights, boom, right to Ladarius Miller in on the Mayweather promotion card in his backyard in Vegas. Next fight, boom, 8-0 Oscar Torres in LA on a Golden Boy card, who was not my promoter. So I came out to win with that fight. A couple fights in, boom, Kermit Cintron, boom, Rachmanov 10-0, boom, Jimmy Williams 14-0, Luke Santamaria 9-1, Jerry Nichols 9-1. So you can see the levels of competition. It's different. You know what I'm saying? I come up a lot harder than 4 fights in Mexico and an MMA fighter, George Cotto, who was stopped in 4 rounds, who I actually sat at the fight with him and Jamel Charlo, and Jamel Charlo took his head off, I think, in the 2nd round. So I said, it's no fooling us. We really do this boxing stuff. Me and my team, we really do this. So, it can fool a casual. Oh, 6-0, 5 knockouts. But we really do. We're really into boxing, and we do this. So Saturday, July 8th, you're going to see the difference between a guy that fought 4 times in Mexico and a couple guys that got knocked out right before he fought him, and a guy that's been in there with former world champions, Olympians, undefeated fighters with just 1 loss. Me going in backyards, coming out winning. Me just beating a knockout artist 9 months ago on Showbox. I fought Marlon Harrington, was 8-0, 7 knockouts. His first fight was at light heavyweight. He was a big puncher, knocked you out with the left or right hand. He was a good boxer. Matter of fact, he just came back and knocked the 9-0 guy out right after I beat him. So it just goes to show you, like I said, the different levels he's on and I'm on. But of course you have to sell. So, sick big puncher, 6-0, 5 knockouts, but he's not Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So
being like you said, you've had all these people in front of you, you've beaten them. Has this, and I won't say only 17 fights, but 17 fights, does it seem like longer that you've been on this road to finally get on the main Showtime Championship boxing cards? I feel like you've almost had like a 30-fight career because of what you had, all the hurdles you've had to endure?
Of course. And then just think about how I had to jump over these hurdles and also had to wait. I beat Marlon Harrington 9 months ago on Showbox. I just got the call, 5 weeks ago. I had to, between this fight and Marlon Harrington fight, I had to go to Colombia to stay busy. So I'm still having to do things like that to stay busy. I don't get a lot of shots. And the reason that I don't get a lot of shots, it's no secret, is because a lot of guys don't want to give me the shots. They know I'm the real deal. They know I'm the real deal. This game has turned into big knockout boxing. It's not boxing anymore. It's who has all the knockouts. You know what I'm saying? It's about, who has a bigger knockout percentage. You know what I'm saying? But the way my career was brought up, it wasn't to have a big knockout percentage. It was to fight the best and not turn down anything and show up and fight. And that's what I've done my whole career. Just showing up and fight. No matter who was put in front of me, I showed up in shape, ready to go, ready to win. And that's what I did. And it's been 8 years. I don't know how to lose. It's been 8 years, since that loss.
And
so that's the reason. That's the reason they don't want to fight me. Nobody wants to fight me. That's the honest to God truth.
And you're a guy, usually you see guys 14-1 with, 1 knockout, or 14-1-2, 1 knockout. you look at them as maybe they're runners, maybe they're slappers and
Mm-hmm.
movers. You fight. I mean, you're in there. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
like you're a guy who's like moving around a lot. I mean, you move around to do what you need to do, but
Mm-hmm.
you're in there. You're in the pocket.
I'm in a pocket. I'm in a pocket. I'm right in front of you. And then don't forget to mention, I'm in a pocket. I'm winning fights, landing 100 more punches than these guys, and I still haven't touched canvas yet. So not only am I throwing all these punches and bunches, I have great defense as well. This why these people. This why they don't want to fight. I'm surprised. I pray every day during this camp. Please, no injuries to me, to that guy. Please, just let us make it to the ring. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad that we're making it to the ring, to the fight. You know, because once I get in the ring, it's over. It's over. It ain't no more. Oh, he's this. I don't care about the height. I don't care about none of that. And that's why I'm able to get in here with these guys that are so-called the future. They're sensations. I already, been in the ring with, oh, he's the future. He's a sensation. He's this. He's that. And they get in the ring with me. It's over. That's why I don't get a lot of fights, because I get in there. I make it look easy. And they're like, I invested all my money with this guy. I'm not about to get in there with Taylor. I'm not about to
You mentioned that
put my guy against Taylor.
you mentioned that you were hanging out a fight with Jamel Charlo. You get much work with the twins. Have you done a lot of rounds with them over the years?
I was sparring Jamel when he was getting ready for that. He was supposed to fight Harrison. Harrison had got injured, so remember he fought Cota. So I was actually in his camp sparring him during that time. But since then, no, I haven't got any work with him.
Real quickly, just off the beaten track for a minute. Obviously, you bring the Houston guy, and you know them very well. Surprised that Jamel got the call for Canelo, not Jamal?
Not really surprised. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really surprised. Jamel will fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing you got to give it to him. He don't care. He'll fight anybody. And he making history. He's the first fighter to fight another undisputed fighter in the four-belt era. I would have did the same thing. He's chasing greatness. Who wouldn't do that? It's a win-win situation for him. He's already made history, and now he's about to go with arguably the face of boxing. That's a win-win right there. Got to take that opportunity. Just like this opportunity for me. This fight is at 160. So this will be my second weight class moving up in 9 months. You know what I'm saying? But for the opportunity, it doesn't matter, because I know my skills pay the bills, man. I got premier skills. I'm elite. I'm on an elite level when it comes to boxing skills. And the only reason that the world doesn't know about it is because I have not been given too many opportunities. But every opportunity that I am given, you see what happened, Mark. You didn't interview me the last 3 or 4 fights. It's the same story every time, isn't it? And then people think, oh, he got one knockout. But then you get in a fight, who look like the stronger guy? Who's running? You know what I'm saying? Who's running? I'm gonna make this guy, mark my words. Mark my words. This guy's, they call him the Cuban sensation. He's 6-0, 5 knockouts. Watch the fight. Let's see who's gonna be running. Let's see who's gonna be in the pocket. Let's see who's gonna be throwing the punches. Let's see. You're gonna see.
Real quickly, also just about Houston boxing. It's a pretty hotbed down there. Fighters such as yourself, we mentioned Jamal, Ronnie Shields. There's a lot of imported guys like Laura and other fighters down there. A lot of good work down there for you, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
How much has that kind of even upped your game as you've gone along?
Oh, a lot. I always go to Ronnie Shields' gym and get some really great sparring. Also at the gym I'm at, Jay Prince, we have a lot of chemistry there. Even Shakur Stevenson helped me during this camp with sparring. He's a southpaw. So, like I said, this guy, he done bit off a little bit too much he can chew. I'm glad he chose me, though. He probably, scrolled the top 10 and it was like, oh, this, let's pick him. He 14-1, only one knockout, just like all my last opponents thought. They look at that knockout column, man. They focus on that knockout column. They see one knockout and think I'm easy pickings, but they get in there and first thing they think is, what the hell did I get myself into? And that's what this guy's gonna think. But after this one, like I said, it'll be my 6th undefeated fighter beaten. After this, it's like, now it's my turn now. I done transitioned from a B-side fighter to the A-side now. I done beat 6 undefeated fighters. After this, I need to get the recognition and the opportunities that I deserve, that I worked for, that wasn't given. You know what I'm saying? But I worked for it. That's all I ask.
Well, Marquis, last question. What do you want to tell the fans out there before we see you? And, Saturday night, they may have to do a new narrative about you. You ain't going to be the best kept secret anymore. You're going to be the big stage Saturday night.
Ain't no more secret after this Saturday. Ain't no more secret, man. To everybody watching, this Saturday, y'all going to see an elite fighter versus a guy that's 6-0, that's with 5 knockouts, that did what he was supposed to do against the opponents that, he's been facing. But this Saturday, you're going to see Yoelvis Gomez fight an elite fighter. Let's see what he's going to do. The first fighter that's not afraid of him. Let's see the first fighter that's going to touch him. Let's see what he's going to do.
There you have it, Marquis Taylor. I'll be down there Saturday night. Look forward to catching up with you after the fight, and we'll talk to you then. And so we wish you best of luck Saturday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Marc.
Thank you.
All right.
There you have it, Marquis Taylor. Terrific interview. Going to be a good fight with Yoelvis Gomez. Saturday night on DAZN live from San Antonio, Virgil Ortiz, 19-0, takes on Montes Stanionis for the WBA regular welterweight title. Terrific fight. And it's ironic, the two guys kind of compared to each other, the two young upstart welterweights, Jaron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, fighting on the same night around the same time. Should be interesting comparisons on Sunday morning. The welterweight division obviously will get its big fight this end of the month, July 29th. We will be in Las Vegas for the Errol Spence Jr. Terrence Crawford fight live from Las Vegas. Friday night, Boxing TV, BXNG TV live from Rosemont, Illinois. I'll be on the call, and I'll be jumping on a plane Saturday morning, get right to Atlantic City. A lot of content for you on Abrams Boxing, YouTube, 15rounds.com, Abrams Boxing, all the social media, Mark Abrams Boxing on Instagram. News of the week, undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez announced that he's going to fight undisputed super welterweight champion Jermell Charlo September 30th on Las Vegas. Canelo originally was thought to be fighting twin brother Jermall Charlo, but Jermell Charlo is going to take the call. We mentioned that in the interview with Marquis Taylor. Jermall has been off for a couple of years. Jermall's had some injury problems, some personal issues. So it looks like Jermell, who was supposed to fight Tim Tszyu, will fill in for his brother. That's what loving brothers do. They help each other out. They fill in for each other. Sad news, Antoine Eccles, the former middleweight world title challenger, passed away at the age of 52, unexpectedly in his home in Davenport, Iowa. He finished with a record of 32, 22, and 4, but at his peak, he was 31-5. 31-5. He fought for the world title, 28 big knockouts for Antoine Eccles. Top Rank announced it signed undefeated 2020 Olympic gold medalist Bakhtiar Jalilov. I believe it's going to be a co-promotional deal with the Bell Entertainment. I'm not sure about that, but they announced it on their show on Saturday night from Toledo. ShowBox, A New Generation will be back August the 4th from the Wind Creek Bethlehem Event Center. The main event will pit Jordan Short Dog White, 14-1, 10 knockouts, a guest we've had many times. He'll take on Erickson Garcia, 17-0, 11 knockouts, as well as welterweight Paul Kroll, 10-0, 6 knockouts, take on Guido Schramm, 16-1, with 9 knockouts. In the opener, Julian Gonzalez, 10-0, 9 knockouts, takes on Johnny Spell, 8-0, 4 knockouts, promoted by King's Promotions. Heavyweight Jay Lee Zhang will take on Joe Joyce in a rematch on September 23rd at the Oval Arena in London. Obviously, the first fight went to Zheli Zhang. And in April, got the rematch on September 23rd. Unbeaten lightweight Kurt Scobie, who we mentioned knocked out Hank Lundy. He has signed with DeBella Entertainment. So he will be back in actions. Most Valuable Promotions announced that Ashton Silva will take on William Silva on August 5th as part of the Jake Paul, Nate Diaz pay-per-view card in Dallas, Texas. Golden Boy Fight Night in Mexico will be July 15th. We have WBC Super Bantamweight Elimination bout between Alan Picasso, 24-0-1, 13 knockouts. He'll take on Sabelo Nganyama from South Africa, 15-6-1, 11. DAZN will stream. Well, that's our show this week. I'd like to thank Marquis Taylor for joining us. Again, great weekend of fights. Golden Boys fight on DAZN between Virgil Ortiz taking on Montes Stanionis and Jaron Ennis taking on Romain Villa. That will be headlining a Showtime Championship Boxing show live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Again, I'd like to thank Marquis Taylor for joining us. We'll talk to you next week. We'll have some more great guests. And thank you for watching the Abrams Boxing Show.